So,
And they are targeted, those
yeah.
seniors, as well as vacant properties. So if you have a property that you own that's been sitting vacant and nobody's there regularly checking mail, perhaps these things could be coming up and you don't even know.
Hi guys, Kim Cross, your Crosstown Realtor, and I am here today with Dori Mittner from Chicago Title. Dori and I actually know each other. We've known each other for a very long time. We'll get into that at the very end. So anybody that wants to stick around, you can. I always talk about how small CME is, and it's
Yeah.
very small. So I'll talk about that at the end. But right now, I wanted to bring you on. Dori's a title representative for Chicago Title. So basically, any of you guys, when you're buying a house, you are going to get title insurance, and someone's going to do what's called a title search on your house. So I'm going to have Dori kind of speak to that a little bit. So for those of you that are paying for it, you know what you're paying for. Hi,
Right.
Dori. Thanks again for joining me here. I appreciate this so much.
Absolutely. Hi, Kim. Yeah, we go back. We go way back.
Mhm.
So title insurance, it actually, a lot of people don't know that it is optional. And of course, we would never push that.
Right,
So
right.
we want buyers to be covered when they buy a house. We want them to know everything about the house, and we want to make sure that they get a free and clear title to that property. So that's where we come in.
And what
So
that means to be free and clear, it means you guys, your company actually does a search and makes sure that the person that's selling it is the person that owns it, like they own it outright. So they're not
right.
they're not misrepresenting anything, because if someone doesn't do that search, they could in theory pay for a house that then doesn't couldn't legally be there. So that's why I know you say it's optional, but I'd be so scared if anybody decided not to
Absolutely.
get the title
Absolutely. So
the
we don't
title
ever
search.
encourage it, but we do throw that out there because that is a line now, and it shows on your closing statement. It'll say title insurance and it'll say optional, but that's something that we would never push toward anyone. It's always great to be covered. It's a one-time fee that the seller pays.
Right.
So, and it's good for as long as you own the house. So it's a great thing for you to have that. Some of the things besides just the ownership that we cover, we make sure that there are no liens and judgments against the seller. Those all have to be paid off and cleared before we close escrow. We make sure all the loans are paid off. So, they've got one, two, sometimes people have three loans on the property. We make sure those are cleared. We check for solar agreements, any HOA liens that might be there, that the taxes are current. So there's a lot more that goes into it. Any CC&Rs and easements, that all is shown on your title report. So we just want to make sure that everything is there. Another thing we cover is, you can talk about, fraud. You were talking about maybe the seller isn't really the seller.
Right.
So we guarantee against that also.
Right.
If someone was to sign a document and there was some fraud, we cover that. So we'll go to bat for you if there's ever a judgment or a lien or anything that needs to be taken care of. That's what we're here for, just like any other insurance company.
And so that's something that title takes care of, as well as you were just talking about. Ventura has a new fraud awareness or
Yeah,
fraud.
it's called a fraud guard protection service. So Ventura County and LA County have both implemented this program that a homeowner can go on, fill out a form. They can go onto their website, fill out a form. You can list your name and your parcel number. And if anything records against your property, they're going to notify you now. And all this came into effect because of so much fraud. And, we've got wire fraud and we've got deed fraud and we've got all kinds of stuff going on these days.
Right.
And watching on TV, everybody's trying to sell you this type of insurance that you don't necessarily need. That's what your
Right.
title company's for. And then, like I said, the Ventura County and LA County recorders have implemented this program, which is phenomenal. So
That is
if you,
wonderful. I
it is
really do like
great.
that.
So
Especially
if
like,
anybody needs more information, have them contact you
okay.
and we'll get those forms out
And
to
I'll put
them.
your contact information below too. And I know, like,
Okay.
especially like seniors, sometimes they'll own their properties outright and
Yeah.
don't really know when somebody starts to put these kind of crazy things against their
Yeah.
title. So
And they are targeted, those
yeah.
seniors, as well as vacant properties. So if you have a property that you own that's been sitting vacant and nobody's there regularly checking mail, perhaps these things could be coming up and you don't even know.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so
Okay.
much, Dory.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And I know you even like kind of just brought up solar, which is kind of a new issue with home buyers and sellers. So it's nice to know that you guys research that, because I know solar's a great thing to have, but I know that it comes with some strings in some purchases. So it's great that you guys know the ins and outs of that as well, to check for that.
Yeah, and they don't always appear on the preliminary title report. So if you are a realtor and you're getting ready to list a house and you see solar panels on that roof, bring it to everybody's attention, because there should be something there.
Right.
So, yeah,
right.
Watch for those.
And that's so great. And you also talked about like the report. So when somebody does purchase their home at in the beginning, actually, they get a preliminary report that gives them all the preliminary findings. And then throughout the process, all of the fine details are ironed out, and then they get like a final report as well.
Final title policy.
And those are usually probably like, gosh, they're pretty in depth.
Yeah, you're talking about the policy or the prelim?
The prelim, let's say the prelim.
So the prelim will have anywhere between, 18, 20 pages.
Right.
A lot of it is just like what we call like a boilerplate, right? So you have a lot of your stuff on there, but it will list the exclusions, whether the property is a single family residence or a planned unit development or a condominium. So you get all of that, and then a full legal description. So that's important for the lender, and we want to make sure that that's always correct. So
yeah, again, another, like, it sounds kind of minor, but it's a big deal. Just the legal description, the lot number and stuff like that, just actually specifies which property they're dealing with in a legal term. The address might be different than what their lot number reflects. I had somebody come to me one time. They said that their grandfather owned some land, and it wound up being the land was like a portion of somebody else's backyard. So it's
okay.
Yeah. So it's crazy how specific that information is. So it's nice to know that there's companies like yours out there, and you've been in title for a while, right? You've been in it.
Right. So this is my 26th year.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you know a lot about it. You've seen you've probably seen a lot of changes too. Like with real estate, the contracts grow and grow, and the policies probably grow and grow as far as what you research and what you cover.
Right.
So that's kind of fun.
So listen, we have a separate policy for vacant land than what we would do for a single family residence. So, they do cover different things. So
Right. Well, it's wonderful. It's nice to know that you're around and you're knowledgeable with all of this stuff. So somebody like me, a realtor, just so you guys know, when I'm working with my buyers and sellers, I'll recommend different title companies. And obviously Dori's is one of the ones that I would love to work with, because she is so knowledgeable. So you guys make sure you do your research, buyers and sellers, and choose a company that does know what they're doing. And because again, you want someone that's going to back you up and help you out if there are crazy things come up even.
Yeah. And we see things all the time. I mean, that's one of the things I love about my job is it's never the same.
Right.
So, sometimes I'll see these reports. It's like, okay, how are we going to get that cleared up? There's housing agreements. We got to get that taken care of. So there's a lot of great things. And of course, the people. So I've met wonderful people that are friends and clients, and it kind of intermingles, and some of them are family, and like you and I go way back. So,
right.
So that's a relationship business for sure.
Yeah. So I appreciate you keep coming on here, and I won't keep you too much longer, but for those of you that I said I'd kind of touch on our relationship, I'm going to hit on that now before I let you go. So Dori and I, we've known each other probably since second grade, I think. I would think second grade.
Thinking back, so did you start at Justin?
Yeah. Oh, I started Justin at second. So I think that's
and I was there at kindergarten through third. So yeah. Okay.
So then I run into you, like we went to different high schools, but I'd run into you every now and then, even then throughout high school a little bit. And then when I got into real estate, we ran into each other again. So it always amazes me, like I've said before, how small Simi Valley is, because I mean, like I said, I've known you for second. And then another thing that came up too while we were chatting, your mom was married to Ernie.
Yeah.
And I actually used to work with Ernie in the Valley.
Funny.
After high school, I got a job out in the Valley and worked there with him. And then when I ran into you later and saw that your mom was married to him, I'm like, oh my gosh, so
that
crazy.
Is funny. Yeah, Ernie's been around forever, and his kids, and
so like I said, Simi Valley is such a small town. So it's fun though.
Yeah.
And that's why I appreciate too, like working with somebody like you, because I've known you forever and I know you're a great person and you're going to stand behind what everything that you do
Thank
and
you.
work hard for my clients. So I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I'm always available to talk to your clients too. So a lot of people don't realize that. As a realtor, the preliminary title report isn't always your expertise, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah. So if you ever need me to talk to your buyer or your seller, I'm happy to do that.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure I'll chat with you again soon.
Thank
Have
you
a
for
good day.
having
Thanks,
me.
everybody. Yeah.
Thank
And thanks for
you.
tuning in, you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.